Discipline isn't about saying no, it's about having a system. And here is my trading system. In this video, I will show you the very routines that keeps me disciplined as a trader and makes me profitable. The first routine is pre-planning. Now, the popular saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And this very much applies to trading. And before you can have a sustainable trading career, you must have a trading plan. I am not going to underemphasize on this because it's very, very crucial. Without a trading plan, you can't be disciplined in trading. It's as simple as that. When I started my trading, right about back in 2021, what I usually do actually is I will open my MT4 account. And back then I was trading derivatives, indices and all that, like boom 1000, boom 500, crash 1000, crash 500, and the volatility pairs and all that. I was pretty much trading it without any inkling as to where the market is going. I was using pure try and error, beginner's luck perception about the market, that feeling that, oh, this market is not very difficult as people propagate it to be. I was pretty much in that phase, and mostly you can guess all my trades, some of them will be, will be going to profit, some of them will be hitting loss. And I was pretty much in that roller coaster-ish phase, but you will rightly know that that kind of approach towards trading does not last for so long. And what then happened was it crashed. Crashing I mean I blew my account. And when I blew my account, very well be rest assured that I had to get more accounts, which I still blew again. So what this told me that first and foremost is that I don't have a trading plan. And I'll be coming to the point where I'll tell you that a trading plan also includes your trading strategy, because I would want to tell you now that a trading plan is more or less your approach towards trading and your expectations as a trader. It includes a series of parameters, but not limited to your style of trading, given be it your swing trader or a day trader or a scalper or a positional trader. So your style generally is also includes your strategy. Now your strategy, some people can also term it as your edge. So it's what gives you an edge in the market based on probabilities, and that's how the market works. On a general note, if you can get the probabilities of the market to your favor in terms of your bias, whenever you're making trade executions, you are mostly going to be correct than you are wrong. And that's what distinguishes trading from gambling, because trading has a subtle part of probabilities added to it just to make it look like it's not gambling. Basically, in gambling, you are just predicting without facts or data, but in trading, you are actually predicting backed up with facts and data. So that's also your trading plan. That's what's considered. There are certain other parts of a trading plan, which includes your risk management protocol as well, and a whole others like your tools of trading. If you love to trade on MT4, MT5, or if you love to use other platforms to trade, I personally use TradingView to trade, and it makes it far more easier to do my trading analysis and it kind of helps me become a better trader overall. And your overall growth plan is included in your trading plan. So you can see why a trading plan is very important. Now, the benefits of trading or having a trading plan is, first and foremost, it curbs impulse trading. If you don't have a trading plan, you will be given to impulsivity when it comes to trading. Anything goes. If you are reacting to market instead of being proactive and actually planning out your trades, you are going to be stopped out most of the time. You are going to blow a lot of accounts. And that's the bitter truth about trading. And that's what makes it kind of difficult to trade, because that discipline of not having to always take on every single trade, it's something that is difficult and lacking in a lot of newbies and struggling traders. So before you can eliminate that, you need to actually become a disciplined trader by starting from the very scratch, which is getting a trading plan. Another benefit of a trading plan is that it helps you to be patient. It helps you to be patient. It's very important to have a trading setup. And most times, to follow the mantra of no setup, no entry, no setup, no entry, it kind of works out very well in the long run because it keeps you disciplined. Like you see me now as a trader, I have a trading plan, obviously, and I have my age, and I have my setups. Now, my setups could be an A setup, could be an A plus setup. Usually, I have an A setup and I have an A plus setup. But most times, I usually trade my A plus setups. And my A plus setup is that particular setup that forms by virtue of the different tools I've employed in getting my strategy on point in order to get me to take a trade. Now, all those tools and actions are put under the umbrella of technical analysis. Now, once I've done my analysis and my setup comes into play, I don't hesitate to take the trade. It's as easy as that. So if you have a trading plan, and including your trading plan is your rules of engagement, which constitutes the setup which you have put in place to guide you into your trade entries, if they materialize, or if that particular setup materializes, you shouldn't hesitate in pulling your trigger. And that's how trading works. So whenever I see my setups, I trade it. If I don't see my setups in a nutshell, I don't trade it. So that's what a trading plan does for you. Going back to discipline, because of being a disciplined trader is actually traceable to having a trading plan, I don't play with it. The second routine I use, which fosters discipline into my trading, is journaling. Now, there are a lot of ways to journal your trade, and there are a lot of tools out there. But the very one I use, which helps me in my trading journey and has really, it's been a banger for me, is screenshots, the use of screenshots. Initially, I started out by getting a traditional trading journal, which comes in a paperback. And what I used to do then was to, it's got different parameters on it, like entry, exit, where you put your stop loss, the market conditions, the prevailing market conditions that warranted your entry into that trade, and actually writing down figures like entry price and all that. It gave me an experience of an exposure into trading and actually being accountable when it comes to monitoring your trades. But in terms of effectiveness, it didn't really do much for me. What actually helped me mostly is having screenshots of my trade. Whenever I enter a trade, I take a screenshot of it first of all, and after the trade, I'll still take a screenshot of it. Now, what this helps me do, and what this does for me in terms of benefits, is that firstly, it tells me the right trade setup to take and makes me to vet the trade setup, whether it conforms with my trading plan or not. So because the market, the forex market is dynamic, and sometimes things may be semblances of what something else is, but they are not exactly the same thing. That's why it's very, very good to have a setup and an A plus setup, like I said in the previous point. So what taking screenshots help me do is to validate whether this particular trade setup I'm seeing is my A plus setup or maybe my A setup. Now, the next thing it does is it sort of flashes the risk reward potential of this trade. And ideally, as a trader, you're meant to risk at least 1:2 and above. If for every $10 you're risking, you should be expecting at least $20 in return or more. So it could be 1:2, 1:3, it could be 1:5. So, and to be able to see this, on screen, is to be using some specific tools which I use, and I could also implore you to use them because it's going to help you. It's going to make things very easy for you when it comes to trading. Is TradingView. When you use TradingView to make your analysis, we have the risk reward simulator tool, which is what I use. And I put a screenshot of it here to show you exactly what it looks like. So when you use this tool, it gives you a quick idea visually of your risk reward, the risk reward potential of this trade. The next thing trading journal does for me is to tell me where I placed or where I will place my stop loss or my take profit. So it shows me the point in the market I am using to place my stop loss or take profit. Next, it does is, and this one is kind of looking back in retrospect. What I usually find out whenever I am reviewing my trades, by going back to my screenshots, is that it helps me capture the prevailing thought at the time whenever I'm taking a trade. So I might see a particular setup on that trade, and I'll just take a screenshot of it. Now, taking a screenshot of it with every single thing that is happening on the chart as depicted by the image of the screenshot, it shows me, it helps to embed into my subconscious the prevailing thoughts that I'm having at that point in time, so that even when I see these trades later on, 1 week time or 2 weeks time, by the time I open up my trading journal, which are my fleet of screenshots, and I see that particular setup, I know exactly, or at least I can tell to a reasonable extent, what I was thinking at the time by virtue of what I'm seeing on the chart. So it's very, very helpful when it comes to using screenshots to trade. And you will come to find out, because it's helped me in that way, you will come to find out eventually that you will now be able to tell in the long run the best setups to use. I mean, you could have your 8 setups that are playing out by virtue of the trading setup that has come up. But after you have used this style or this routine of trading for a while, maybe let's say 3 months, 6 months, up to a year, you will now come to find out, because it's adding to your experience as a trader, you will now come to find out the very, very best setups to use when it comes to trading. And that's what it has helped me do. One of the trades, I referred back to at the time when I did take this trade, I took a screenshot of it, was when I traded CAD-JPY. Now, when I traded CAD-JPY, you have to understand, at the time, my risk to reward simulation wasn't very good, but I was able to risk 1:1 on that CAD-JPY trade. The trade eventually worked out for me, but the prevailing thought at the time was what matters. And the setup which I took went a long way to help me create different similar setups in different currency pairs, just because of I am documenting it by way of using screenshots. So having a trading plan helps to keep you a disciplined trader. And in one of his books, Mike Bear and Andrew Laziz, they define discipline as the ability to follow rules and conduct oneself appropriately. It suffices to say that if you are finding it difficult to follow rules, basic rules, whether it pertains to trading or any other facet of life, it's going to be very, very difficult for you, making headway. Now, in the trading world, if you are, if you find it very difficult to follow trading rules, I'm afraid to say that you can't actually become a profitable trader in the long run. And that's not to deter you or discourage you in any way. It's just the plain truth of it, because in the trading world or in the forex market, you need to be very equipped. And one of the ways to equip yourself is to have a trading plan. You can't just come in and expect the markets to give to you when you don't understand the market dynamics. And that is the very thing that trading is all about, helping your perspective about the markets and your own analysis to be in sync. So if you are in that position whereby your very actions about trading, be it from your technical analysis to your mentality, your psychology, whenever they are in conflict with what the market is doing or the market dynamics, you're going to find a hard time trading. The last routine on this talk is weekend analysis or review. Now, this particular routine has been a game changer for me, because when you have a time of the week where you tend to go and review and reanalyze your trades and to see how the trading week has gone, it kind of broadens your perception about trading in terms of actually trading profitably, because now you are keeping yourself accountable by following your trading plan. Now tell me, at what point will you know that you are still in check when it comes to following through to your trading plan? Or at what point will you know that you're deviating out of your trading plan if you don't actually go back to review them? Now, the best time to review your trades is on the weekend because the trading week closes on Friday, except, of course, you're trading cryptocurrencies. But the currency market closes on Friday. And if you want to keep yourself, kind of fuel yourself going all the way in trading, you need to pause a bit and look at what's going well and what's not going well. Kind of one of these racing events in a Formula One racing events where sometimes the car, pulls over just to have its tires changed, kind of, or maybe basically, like, if I use that analogy of maybe when you're traveling on the road and your vehicle pulls over at the gas station to get more gas because you were running out of such. So that's how trading is. It kind of fuels you on when you sit back sometimes and go through your trades. Now, an important element of weekly trading analysis or review is that you get to go through your watch list. Now, some people don't have a watch list. I mean, everything goes when it comes to the trading instrument, which they are always indulging in all the time. Some people choose to trade, let me just use, for example, Euro USD, AD USD, Euro JPY. I mean, a plethora of forex currency pairs. Some of them even dive into commodities, gold, and then also dive into stock. I mean, it's kind of vast. But what helps you eventually, see yourself or start to see yourself becoming profitable is when you are now honing down to particular markets because you have studied them to know that, okay, this particular market, maybe by virtue of its volatility profile, of its popularity amongst traders. Example, the most popular pair to trade amongst traders is Euro USD because Euro USD is kind of, I see it as the number one major currency because it's traded in volumes by most retail traders and as well as investment banks and institutional traders. So a lot of movement happens in Euro USD and it's the best currency trade and currency prepared to trade. If you kind of categorize your trading, getting the instruments, your trading instruments, which comprise your watch list, and bring them out and assemble them, even if it's like 1 to 5, and you reviewing them every single week, I assure you you're going to be profitable. Also, watching your economic calendar at the end of the trading week and seeing the economic calendar for the next week will give you a good idea of how to marry your intended trade entries for the week with the economic calendar of that week. For example, there are a series of major news that come out that affects the forex market on a weekly basis. So if you are ignorant of all those things, most times you might always get yourself stopped out of your trades and you will be in a position of wondering what actually happened. But you don't know it's because of you are not paying attention to what is happening on a fundamental basis. That is kind of what's making you struggle as a trader. So very important. I'll go back to the fact that having a weekly analysis or a weekly analytical schedule for your trades and then planning ahead for the next week is going to help you a lot to become a disciplined trader. And it's only disciplined traders that actually make it into profitability in trading. So finally, we've come to the end of this video, and I know I've rambled on a lot about the different routines that keeps me disciplined as a trader, which as a way of listing, I'm just going to call them out again. The first one is pre-planning, the second one is journaling, and the third one is weekend analysis or review. It's important to have these trading routines in place as a trader because it fast tracks your journey as a profitable trader. And if you implement these, which is all I've listed in this video, and you take into cognizance every single thing I've said in this video as it concerns the various facets of these trading routines and how they have helped me transform my trading journey, from having a trading plan to journaling your trades in a way that is going to make sense by the use of screenshots, and then actually going through your trades, setting a planned day of the week. It might not necessarily be weekends, but it's kind of easier when you leave weekends for trading analysis, or weekend, your entries analysis and all that. If you implement this, you are going to see yourself become a profitable trader in no time. No capping. I don't want to talk much. So I've said it all, and I've given you guys the routines that keeps me as a disciplined trader. And it pays to be a disciplined trader. If you found value from this video, please don't hesitate to give me your support by giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. And I'll be motivated to make more content like this. So see you guys in my next video. Bye.